Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome. This is Jennifer with Canvas Sign Designs, and we are going to be doing the February Lettering Challenge today. So come in, say hello if you are watching. Let me know. Put in the comments where you're watching from. It has been a hot minute since I have been live on my page. It's just been really busy and it's just been a while, but here we are. And I am excited to be here. So we are going to hand letter, or I'm going to, you're going to watch, or maybe you're going to do it with me. I don't know. But I'm going to be doing the February lettering challenge. So I will be hand lettering these words here for February on my mixed media in my mixed media journal page. So this is what we did last night in the Happy Lettering Club. This little journal page, isn't it cute? It was a lot of fun, and I'm going to flip the page and then do our journal page. Our lettering challenge. Sorry. I'm trying to pull this up on my computer so I can see your comments, and apparently I can't do two things at once. Okay, let's see. Actually, I may not have to do that because let's see if StreamYard is going to show me comments. There we go. I see comments. Hey, Miss Julie, how are you? I'm glad that you're watching me. My friend Julie from Julie's Wreath Boutique is here. I have my other computer open and I forgot. I can see your comments on here because we're live on my regular page, not in a private group. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. So this is the little journal page that we did last night, but we are going to do the lettering challenge. And what I like to do, I missed January because of all the things, but this is what we are going to do today. And let me just kind of show you to kind of get an idea. I like to make these little collages with the words of the month. And so if you don't have these words, these are posted on my Canvas Sign Design Facebook page. And you can just print them off and do the little word scramble yourself. But here's just kind of some of our past ones that we have done together. This is a lot of fun, and the ladies in I skipped January, shame on me. But the ladies in my lettering group love doing this. So I'm going to just take one of these pages out. I love this little mixed media journal because I can take the pages out and put them back in, which is lovely because sometimes it's hard to write on a spiral like that. Hey, Valerie, how are you? As you guys are jumping on, say hello. Julie said she's ready, getting on to do some stuff on her channel and saw I was live. Thank you. You are so talented too, my friend. It is like 78 degrees here today, or that's what the high is going to be, and I am loving it. I'm so excited. My body, like, I need this heat. So I'm so excited about that. Okay, first I'm gonna probably use these twin tone colors today. I may change it up with some other colors, but I like to kind of go through and pick all of my Valentine's-y colors, and I like to coordinate these with the month because that's just me. Let's see, we could probably do a blue. I like these twin tone markers because they have two ends here. So if you've not seen these are great for like journaling and writing in your planner and things like that. This is Tombow. They're Tombow twin tone, and I like them because they have two ends. They have this bullet tip in here, but they also have this really super fine tip here, which is great if you're like writing in your planner or your schedule or whatever. I know I'm going to brag, Julie, because it's been very, very cold here. So I'm so excited. It's finally going to be warm today. Who knows how long it will stick around, but it's here and I will take it. Okay, so here are all my colors. I don't think I want to use this dark red. And we have quite a few pinks. I really like this pink. And I like this pink. And I like this color. And I like, those don't kind of match. Maybe that. And let's throw in a blue. Do we want that blue? I think so. Let's start with these and see. I may have to add in another color here and there, but let's start with those colors. And I'm going to zoom my camera in too real quick so y'all can see close up what I'm doing. And then we will get started. Hey, Miss Trisha, how are you? Thanks for coming on and watching. You're home today, Trisha? Or are you working on your lunch break? It's okay. It's okay if we work on our lunch. This is working on our lunch break. Okay. All right, there we go. I think we're all set. Okay, I have the sweatshirt on, but I don't really need it because it's warm. You're working around the house. Well, good. Thanks for coming by and listening to us while you are working in the house. Okay, I'm going to start with just doing February across the page. Now, if you are doing this for the very first time and you are not comfortable just freehanding with markers, you can always do this in pencil first. Do everything in pencil, get it just the way that you want, and then go back and go over it with your markers. That is perfectly fine. Don't have to be perfect at it. I think I'm going to do this pink here, and I like to kind of do the month really big in the middle. You could also get a ruler out. You could, measure, or not measure, but these work really good too, these laser levels. If you are not great at making a straight line or writing in a straight line, you could get your little level out, and then that way you could kind of keep keep it straight. Sometimes it feels like I'm just like my brain doesn't work whenever I'm doing a live. Julie, do you ever get that way? Anyway, so I like to just do my F's like this because I don't know. I don't love doing the letter F in cursive. So the thing I love about hand lettering is that you could do it however you want. I have to concentrate. If I just stop talking, it's because I'm concentrating on not misspelling the words, because I have been known to do that a time or two. Okay, so first I'm writing out the word, and then I'm going to go through and thicken up my letters. So as you can see, the first time I write it through, it may not be perfect. It may be kind of, little shaky or whatever. But when I go back through and thicken up, anywhere my marker goes down is where I'm going to thicken up these letters. That's when I can kind of straighten out these shaky lines. Even those of us that do it every day for a living, we are not perfect. And I think that was the biggest relief for me when I first started hand lettering, is realizing everybody that I followed with hand lettering, that I got a little piece of fuzz here, that they made mistakes too. And I was like, they make mistakes too? Because I think we get this kind of false sense in our mind that the people that we follow, that we watch, that we learn from are perfect. It's a story that we tell ourselves, they're better at it than we are, and we're just not great at it. And I think it's such a it's so bad that we do it, but it is human nature, and it's simply a lie that we tell ourselves, So I think just seeing that, hey, look, they misspell words when they're lettering, they mess up. So you're always going to see me just kind of being, this is who I am. I don't show up any other way, and I make mistakes, and I am not shy about letting everybody know I made a mistake, because that is just part of it. So hopefully I won't make a big mistake today, but if I do, we just try to fix it and move on. I tell my 8-year-old, like, just make something new out of it. So anytime I have ever been crafting and I make a mistake, I just use that opportunity to, you know, change it up and make something new out of it. Okay, so sometimes I have to pause because I'm concentrating. Trisha, these are Tombow twin tones, and I know like the focus isn't great on that, but Tombow twin tone. I like these. Okay, these are not my favorite lettering pens because they are kind of like inky, not inky, but like, I don't know what kind of ink that they use, but if you are familiar with different types of lettering pens, you know, like Sharpies write different than other pens, right? These are kind of the same way. They're kind of like, the ink in them is not as like soft and smooth, but I do like them because, especially for these journal pages, I mean, yeah, the journal pages and these lettering challenges, is because number one, they come in a variety of fabulous colors, and you can't beat that. But I like how they have the two different tips. But I will say that my lettering doesn't look as good with these as they do with some of the other lettering pens. So it really does depend on your paper and your pens. Good pens make a huge difference. Okay, so we have February here. So I'm just going down the list with the words. And so the first word is love. And so what I do is just try to write these all different which ways and in different styles. So we're going to, and sometimes I end up doing them in all the same styles because my favorite way to letter is like this. And so I try to get creative and do some different things, but a lot of times it ends up just being the same old, same old. Some of the ladies in the Happy Lettering Club have already done their February lettering challenge, and they did such a good job. And I also like to sometimes just kind of add some little elements like designs. I usually use that to like fill up the space. Okay, so let's go Cupid. I think I'm going to do Cupid with, let's do Cupid with this color. Let's So the thing that is great about lettering is there really is no rule. There really are no rules. You can do it however you want. You can make your letters however you want. You don't have to follow exactly how I do it. Do your own thing. Do what you like. These, how I did they kind of staggered them in size. There's just so many so many different things that you can do, and you can do it any way you want. And there's so much freedom in that. And I know when you're learning, it feels like I need to do it exactly like somebody else because you're following them, mimicking them, you're learning, which is totally what I did. But you also can kind of put your own spin on it. Let's see, heart. You can put your own spin on it and change things if you don't like exactly the way that I do it. If you don't like putting a capital letter in the middle of a word, you don't have to. So just make it your own. Hey, Karen. My favorite lettering pens are Tombow Fudenoski pens. That's these right here. Tombow, and the name of the pen is, let's see, Tombow Fudenoski. The ones that I'm using right now are Tombow Twin Tone. They're not my favorite lettering pens, but for this challenge, I usually use them because I have more colors. But the Tombow Fudenoski pens are great if you are starting out. Okay, heart. Let's do, I like a lot of these February words. They're fun to, letter. You know, like some words are just easier to letter. Like the letters in them are prettier. I feel like a lot of February words are like that, like heart and love. So I'm going over this. Another really good marker to use, or a pen to use, well, they're markers, but to use when you're starting out, are Crayola Super Tips. They're really, really inexpensive, and they work really well. So if you are just starting out and you want something inexpensive and easy to use, that is a good option. So I'm usually going over my letters and straightening out any wobbly looking lines as I go. So if you see me doing that, that's what I'm doing. The next word is sweet. So we're going to do, we'll use this light pink. Hey, Sandy, how are you? You are welcome, Karen. Let's go sweet here. Let's do, this is just fun because it kind of forces you to think a little bit outside of the box. Maybe like right now we have a lot of space, but as we go down the list of words, we will start running out of space. And then sometimes you got to get kind of creative on how you do your lettering. And so I like that. I love being challenged by having to like fit certain words in certain spots. So like if I have a, you know, circle and I have to fit this phrase into a circle, like being able to kind of like manipulate it and move it around to fit inside a certain box, if you will. That is my favorite way of hand lettering. And it probably because that's really how I got started hand lettering. I need to see what time my mail late. I had this thought in my mind. I'm sorry. I have an order that has to go out today, and I can't remember what time my mail lady said she was going to be here, because I have her on text because she's amazing. Okay, between 2 and 3. I just had this thought, like, what if she's going to be here at 1? So that's how I got my start, is by you know, doing paint parties with door hangers, and people would say, oh, could you write you know, this on the snowman instead. And I would be like, that's a really long name. And the snowman is only this big. So how can I fit that together and make it work? And that's how I started, was just kind of trying to like shape things and get things to fit a certain way, get it to fit in a certain box. So I think that's probably why I'm a little partial to doing that. It's like a little challenge, you know? It's like a Tetris or something, you know? I always loved that game. Y'all remember that? The little Game Boy Tetris. I used to love playing that. Or if my husband says, that's not all going to fit in the car, and I say, watch me do it. That's happened a time or two. So I don't know. I love that about this challenge, is that you got to kind of try to figure out how to make it work. And if this is the first time seeing this, you'll see what I mean as we get further on down the list of words. I think I'm going to do a little, I got that S just a little too high. So I just did this. Okay, now we got hugs. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, just making sure I'm using all the colors. And I try to kind of like space them out. Sometimes it gets a little hard, so I'm gonna have to like throw in an orange or something like that. Hey, Miss Julie, I'm so glad you're back. It's so exciting when my friends can get on here and watch me. If y'all don't follow Julie's Wreath Boutique, go follow her. She is one of my best friends, and she is so talented. I'm happy you're here too, Miss Sandy. And she is amazing businesswoman. Okay, so let's go hugs. Let's go, I'm going to go over here. And I don't want to do it sideways right here. I could do it hugs going this way. So I don't know how much space I'm going to need if I do hugs like H-U-G-S. Sometimes I'll write it in the air like H-U-G-S to see how much space I'm going to have. But sometimes I will write it backwards so that I can go up, work my way up. So I'm going to start with S. And sometimes I do my S's backwards because they look prettier. I don't know. Okay, H-U-G. So let's go G. Again, no rules on how you get there, right? Do it. Get your letters as pretty as you can, any way you want. It is. Nobody has to know how you made them pretty. So write them however you want. Again, no rule. Hold your pen however you want. When I first started hand lettering, I would try to like practice different ways of like holding my pen or, you know, positioning my paper, because it really is a lot of muscle memory. So when you're just starting out, your hand wants to make the movements it's always made. And so you've always written a certain way. Like we haven't always written this way, right? We wrote cursive or print. And so sometimes just your hand just kind of, it does what it wants to do. And that's not what you want it to do. So I would practice writing it different ways, holding my pen different ways, just to make it a new movement that my body was not already used to, if that makes sense. So it's really just a lot of muscle memory and a lot of like repetitive practice is what is going to make you better. Let's go with sometimes when I'm writing a word on top of another word, like we'll just say this is supposed to be hello February, I will kind of like, you know, stack it on top of the word in print on top of cursive. So that's how I'm kind of doing this word sprinkle. So S-P-R-I, I have to do this so I don't misspell it. I-N So see how I kind of stacked it on top of there. And when I was first kind of practicing phrases, like doing like multi-word phrases, like, you know, hello February, or, you know, something like that. Because, you know, when I first started lettering, I was not great at that. I would see other people doing this, and so I would do it, and anytime like I did it, it didn't look right. You know, it was like, oh, that doesn't look right. But that's just our own mind kind of sabotaging us, like telling us, you know, telling us lies. And so I would just do it anyway, even though I didn't feel like it looked great. And, you know, you walk away from it and then you come back and you're like, oh, that's so cute. So sometimes we, or most of the time, we look at our lettering very differently than the world looks at our lettering. We look at it and we see all the things that we don't like about it. And other people don't look at it in that way. So I just want to encourage you that if you are newer to lettering and watching this, that don't be so quick to judge yourself, because 9 times out of 10, it looks way better than what you think it looks like. We just are seeing our insecurities, really. Okay, let's go with, I really don't like this light purple because I can kind of see where it's darker in some spots where I went back over it. Most of these don't do that, but I guess this one does. Now we're going to go candy. I'm going to do that up here since I have it here. And I think I'm going to try to do a different way of a different type of print. Print is not my strong suit. I will always admit to that. I'm much better with the cursive. But I do have a template library if you're newer to lettering and you want practice, but you're not good at making phrases for your own signs. I do have a template library where you get access to a whole bunch of templates, and that you can use to like trace and put on your own signs or whatever you want to use, practice. That helps until you build that confidence up to do that on your own, to start creating your own phrases. Okay, chocolate. I feel like I need to make chocolate brown, but I don't really want brown in here, so. Let's see, is there any other words that could go with chocolate color-wise? I don't know. We're just going to do chocolate in a different color. Oh, thank you, Julie. I appreciate you, my friend. I misspell things usually every live. So there's that when I'm doing these. Hey, Miss Sheila. Usually every time I misspell something, you know, especially when I'm like talking If I'm just doing it on my own, no, but if I'm talking and trying to like letter, it is a learned skill. That is a whole nother skill on its own that I have not always mastered. So let's see, let's go. And sometimes I have no idea why I choose to write a letter a certain way. Like just now, like all these have been capitals, and then I just kind of threw in a lowercase a. Sometimes my hand just does it, and I don't really know why. Sometimes I like it, and sometimes I don't. Let's go with the lowercase e. That'd have been cute if I would have done like a little chocolate bar. CHOCOLIT. It looks weird. Okay, roses. We're going to do roses in red for sure. Let's stack roses. Right here. I love creating for Valentine's Day. I don't know if it's the colors because I am a girly girl and I do like the pinks and all the pretty pinks and the reds together, but there's something about like Christmas and Valentine's Day and 4th of July that I get super inspired to like create stuff. Those are my like 3 favorite holidays to create. I think I could add in orange for crush. I think I'm gonna add orange. Or should I do like maybe that kind of an orange? Like kind of like a sherbety. It's not really sherbety, but kind of. I'm gonna have that orange too. Dark or light? Let's go with a little darker, kind of like that. I'm gonna use that for crush. Should have used it for chocolate. Have you been, Miss Sheila? Okay, crush. Let's see. Crush is not really that. It's not a significant word in my book. So I'm going to do, but I think it's going to be a fun word to letter. So some words are just fun. You can tell I've used this marker a little bit because it's a little bit squishier. Y'all, I've had these markers since probably before 2020. I'm not even kidding you. That's how long these have lasted in my drawer. I got these, I'm pretty sure, before the pandemic, because I was doing a lot of lettering classes, like in-person lettering classes, and I have not even replaced them since then. That's 6 years. And they sit in this drawer, and I use them every now and again, and that's pretty remarkable, is it not? Let's do Valentine in red. And I think I'm going to do Valentine across here. So if you're ever questioning whether it's worth it to buy them, that should That should help you out. Look, Julie, I'm following this. I'm following a script. So I do have those words on here. Hey, Yolanda, welcome. Hey, Ellen, welcome. Yes, well, they're fonts. They're my handwriting, but they are a font. I like to mix and match and do all kinds of fun things with these little word scrambles, and it gets to be a lot more fun as we start going down the list. So I have, if you check out on my page, Canvas Sign Designs, on my Facebook page, I have a list of words that I put out each month. These are the words for February. And so I just go down the list and I write them on this page every different which way. I try to do different fonts. I'm a creature of habit, so I tend to end up doing my own font half the time. But I try to do different fonts and just kind of fit it in on this page. And it gets kind of fun once we get down to running out of space. And we're trying to like figure it out. It's like a little puzzle. Which, by the way, I have been so into puzzles lately. And I also got to give this caveat if you're new watching here. I'm going to try to letter and not misspell a word because that is very difficult to do. And I end up doing that sometimes. So I'm just going to say that ahead of time, that is a very possible thing that I could do, that I might do. But I've been so into puzzles lately. I do not know why, but ever since we're basically closed a week for snow here in Texas. So school was out. My husband's a teacher, so he was home and my daughter was home, and we had a puzzle on the table left over from Christmas that my 8-year-old was working on. And it was really hard. And so we were like, can we just finish this puzzle so we can get it off the table? And then it was like, this is fun. Now I want to do another one. Now I want to do another one. So I'm currently working on a puzzle right now. And I'm like, who have I become? Let's see, I'm going to use a smaller tip for this. And now it has been fun doing these puzzles. It's like a little escape, it's just like giving your mind like time to just unwind and not think about anything, but where's that puzzle piece? So do we have anybody else in here like to do puzzles? I feel like I've not ever been like a big puzzle person before now, but I'm just finding them so fun. I think I'm like on the 4th puzzle, and I'm like, Jennifer, you got to get to work. We're doing the puzzle. Okay, it's probably hard for y'all to see this word. This is awfully thin because one end of these tips are super skinny, but these are great for if you have like a planner that you like to write in, or you want to get like more detailed lettering. I also like it too because you can use this teeny tiny part to do little doodles or correct any little wonky looking line. I have noticed like some days lettering is everything that I letter is like, oh, that's so cute. It's so wonderful. Some days I'm like, I need to put the pens away because this ain't my day. Let's make this a little bit. Little bit thicker. Okay, so up close, that's what that one looks like. The puzzles are calming your nervous system. They are, Julie. I really think they are. Oh, Dawn, that's so interesting. Dawn says her husband had surgery and the anesthesia exacerbated his Alzheimer's and vascular dementia. He's 56. That's terrible, Dawn. So we started doing puzzles to help him. I do think it's very good for your mind because you're like problem solving, you're looking, you're like doing all the things. And I think a lot of that is it's like those crossword puzzles, like it's all like really good for your mind. So I feel like, it's good practice. Hey, Cecilia from Alabama, how are you? Yolanda says she hasn't done puzzles in a while, but loves how they make you stop time and enjoy yourself. I think so. I think that's what's so like, that's what lettering also does for me. It's just like, if you just sit down to letter on a piece of paper, now we have forever. And let me think of what color. Let's do this. I haven't done this in a while. If you ever just sit down and get a piece of paper or sketchbook and your pens, and you don't have like an outcome that you're looking for, like you're not working on a project, right? You're just doodling, lettering, playing around. It's so calming because you just get lost in what you're doing. But like it just brings you, it just takes everything else away and just kind of brings you into the current task that you're doing. And I think it's so important to do that, especially in the way that the world is right now. Like we're just constantly like stimulated all the time, like, on our phones or on the computers or with technology. And let me write this real quick. Doing something like with your hands or like a puzzle or lettering, it causes you to just kind of stop and be present in what you're doing. And I think it's so important for us to do that in this kind of time period we live in, because, most of you can all remember a day before all of the technologies, and it just seemed like time just went by a little slower, right? It seemed like the weekends were a little longer and time just seemed to go by slower. And so I think it's just all this technology. So I feel like doing things like that, some sort of a hobby, it just brings you to your body and doing things and makes you a little bit more present in the moment. And I think that is so therapeutic on so many levels. I was saying last night that one of the girls in my lettering group was saying that she was going to work along with the project that we were doing, because it was like more like painting first and then lettering. But she said that she was comfy in her recliner. And I was saying, like, that's what I like about lettering, is that you can just almost do it anywhere. Like, you can take your sketchbook, you can go to the park, you can, take it on vacation with you, do it. I would say do it in the car, but that's a little bit hard. But like you don't have to bring out a bunch of supplies. Like, you can literally do it with a pencil, any pen, any markers, and just be able to practice anywhere, anytime. Like, sometimes even when I go to pick up my daughter from school, I will bring a sketchbook and a couple markers and sit in the car, because we have to wait in line for a long time before the line starts moving. Like, I'm not actively driving. I just want to fix something real quick here. But we have to wait. You know, you get there and you sit in line forever, waiting for the line to start moving. And I'll bring my markers sometimes and just, especially in the springtime, and I'll just roll the windows down and it's like quiet. And it's like I can't do anything else. I'm not at home and being tempted with, like, I really should move those clothes from the washer to the dryer. You know, it's like it's just a nice time to stop and be present in your life and in the world. So I love it for that reason. Let's do, I need to do Sweetheart. That's the next one. And look, I don't know if y'all can see that. See how cute that is, Sweetheart? I'll probably try to do that lettering like that one. Let's do this bright pink. I don't know. Maybe I should do this color. Here's Sweet already here, so I should probably not put it up there. So let's go down here with right here. This is where it starts getting tricky here, about halfway through. Let's see, how did I write that? And I know Sweetheart is one word, but I'm going to do it 2 words because I want to and I can. Again, no rules. There's no rules in lettering. Hey, Deb, how are you? You're refinishing a table, so you may be in and out. I know I should have done that dark purple, shouldn't I have? Well, we are glad that you popped in for a minute, Miss Deb. I'm finally going live. So I'm going to be doing these on the first Friday of every month here on my page. So I will, you know, make a reminder announcement. And if you have joined my broadcast channel, it's just free to join it. But I send out messages via Facebook Messenger, like whenever I'm going live or something like that. So I will make that a, you know, reminder, but pink's got to be pink. So let's do, I'm going to do pink right here. So I'm going to be doing these the first Friday of every month. I used to tell everybody my favorite color was blue anytime anybody asked me, because I love blue. But I'm really slowly starting to think it is pink. Okay, pink there, and then we got date night. Let's do date night in orange because, you know, I don't know why. Just seems like a good use of this color. Let's see. Okay, date night there. Now we're going to go sparkle. Let's do this. I need to do some purple, maybe down here. Well, that sprinkle, I don't want it to be too Let's see. Let's do, I don't want to do blue because I already used that. This is where we're getting a little, the list is, it's on, if you go to Canvas Sign Designs on my Facebook page, I posted it in a post this morning, so you'll see it. Let's see. Sparkle, I want to do it, I think, in this color. And maybe I'll just do it. I got to write it different than this, and this is how I would write it. So I got to think, how am I going to write this? Got to write it different. Let's do my S. It's not normally how I would write it, but I didn't want it to look too much like sprinkle here. I'm just thickening up anywhere my pen goes down. I'm making those lines just a little bit thicker, which is how you get this look. But you don't have to do that. That's just one way of doing it. It's supposed to mimic like brush lettering. And I think I'll just do some like some of these little stars. Those of you that are in the Happy Lettering Club, you know I love doing these kind of stars on things. These are my fave. Okay. Let's see. Our next word is hug me. Well, it's 2 words, but you know. Let's go with hug me with this color. And I think, well, the hugs is here, so let's not go there. Let's do it right here. Hug me. And you can also like fill up the space with like little things like that. And adore, let's do that in red because I haven't used red in a while. So you see I'm kind of getting down to certain spots where I'm like having to kind of, okay, think about the words, think about how much space I have. So let's do, I want to do something, maybe adore can go here. I could go here. Let's do it here. Adore Cupid. That's what I feel like I'm doing. So as I start to kind of run out of room, I try to kind of fill up this space the best I can. So that when I'm done, it's all, you know, it's all filled up and we have no gaps. But if you have any gaps, then I just kind of fill it with like little, you know, little doodles or things like that, which for this month, it's easy because we can put hearts everywhere. In all the extra spaces. So adore. The next one is I choose you, which again is 3 words, but that's okay. I choose you. I'll do it in this color. Actually, maybe this because it's been a while. And I think I'm going to do it through here. You could do stacked as well instead of across. I choose you. I'm going to do it like lined up to the left side, because I think that will make it easy for me to use the space. And then I'm going to make it a little bit thicker. And you could also have fun too and do like shadows, like some shadowing, all kinds of things. I try to keep it cute but simple, just because we're on a live and I could sit here for 7 hours probably. Doing things to it. Fun fact, I love designing and decorating for Valentine's Day, but I'm not like a big Valentine's Day person. Like, I don't like, I get my girls something, but like, I'm not like a big, like, I don't care if my husband gets me anything. I'm not like, we usually don't even do anything on Valentine's Day. I'm just not a big, like, celebrate it because it's a holiday kind of thing. Like, I want him to do something nice and tell me he loves me on a day that it's not because he has to kind of person. I don't know. Are any of you guys like that too? I know some people are just like, nope, my husband better get me something on Valentine's Day or I'm going to be super mad. But we just don't, we are not like that. We just don't. I'm the same with Mother's Day. Like, I want my kiddos to, I mean, I want them to tell me Happy Mother's Day, but they don't have to like do anything for me. I'd rather them do something on a random day because they just thought it would be nice, you know? I'm not like a big, you know. Julie said she feels like she used to be more of a lover of Valentine's Day, but by the time it gets here, she's Valentine's Day out with all the content made. That's so true. Like, when you do this for a business, you have to do it so far in advance. You have to do everything so far in advance. It's like by the time it gets here, it's like our brains are already like in like April. Like, a lot of times I'm already like so far ahead that I'm like, what month is it? I can't even remember what month it is. Let's do Smitten in blue. Okay, so we have Smitten, XOXO, Be Mine, Love Bug, True Love, and Yours Truly. So I'm trying to think about spacing and what I have. I think Be Mine needs to be down here. Or I could do Be Mine here. Let's do Smitten down here. And do something different with my S. Yeah, like, we're always trying to create so far in advance for every holiday. It makes it very difficult to be in the holiday. That's probably the one downfall. The one thing I don't like about creating for a living is not ever feeling like you're able to be in the holiday unless you create so far ahead. There have been times where, like, because my brain starts thinking about Valentine's Day and wanting to create for Valentine's Day, like in February, but we're done usually with that. But that's something that I kind of struggle with. So sometimes I make some really cute stuff, but it's like too late to promote it. So I just save it for the next year. And then when I start creating for, say, Valentine's Day, I'm like, oh, I already have this made. Made it last year. But it's like, because my creative brain is, like when you're in the holiday, that's when a lot of the creativity will start coming to me. But by the time you get there, we're done. So if we could only all just work a year ahead. But I don't think that is ever going to happen, because then styles change and, things like that. Yolanda said they have been married this year for 30 years, and we are the same. We celebrate love every moment. I love that. That's how we are too. I just have a great marriage, and I love my husband so much, and we are just wonderful to each other all the time. So, I just would rather it that way. Let's see, I can do XOXO here with this color. I kind of think I need to do XOXO in like one of each color. I'm trying to think of where the best spot would be for that. So here I could do pink, red, blue, pink, red, blue. How about pink, red, blue, pink? Or pink, red, pink, blue. We're going to do that because I have a lot of space right here, and I think that's what. Next. Ooh, I should do a heart, but I'm not going to. So I think I'm going to need to save my heart doodles for spaces. I usually end up having extra space left over when I do these because I think I'm not going to have enough space, and I try to like save it, and then I have extra left over. Kind of like when you're saving the good stuff, you're like, oh, I don't want to use that scrapbook paper because that's my good scrapbook paper, but then you never use it. It's like, I'm saving that for a good, certain occasion. Do y'all do that? I do that all the time. I wish I could do that with my money though. Wouldn't that be nice? That's what I need to learn to do. Okay, Be Mine, and let's see where we're going to put this. Maybe blue right here, Be Mine. I'm going to do mine first. Sometimes I do this if I'm doing a phrase. I'll either start with a word in the middle or start with the last word, and I build up. I don't know why, but sometimes it feels easier to get the spacing and all of the things that way. I guess because like here, I'm going to do mine, and then I can kind of see how much space that takes up. And that tells me B is a shorter word. And that tells me like how big I can make that to make it even with mine, if that makes sense. So don't be afraid to do things backwards like I do. And I'm going to do a cursive B because I know that's going to take up more space than just the printed bee, and I have a lot of room here, and I also have this kind of short area here, so I know I can kind of do this and kind of make it a little more swirly. Look, and I can do this. Cute. Okay, Be Mine. And then we have a Love Bug, which I feel like needs to be in red. Love's in red here. So let's do Love Bug in this bright pink. And where are we going to do this? Let's do it. I feel like it needs to be up here somewhere. I'm really running out of room. Oh, but then Love is here. So let's not do that. So maybe it can't go in bright pink. Maybe down here. Love Bug. We have True Love and Yours Truly. So maybe Love Bug goes here. Sometimes I fill in extra words whenever I have extra space. So we might do that. I just tried to do it a little different than that one since I already have that. Lettering is so relaxing. Sometimes I'll find myself just going super slow too. And I'm like, why am I? You should go slow, but sometimes I go too slow because I just get lost in it. You know, it's just fun. Okay. Love Bug, True Love. Let's see. Do we need another purple? True Love here. True. I'm going to end up being very close to doing it that way. So let's make sure I do a capital E. So it's a little bit different. Not that it matters. You don't have to do it in different fonts, but I think it's fun to do that. Gives you an opportunity to try out different ways. Sometimes also just getting a piece of paper and doing like one word and trying to see how many different ways that you can write that word, or one letter. That's a good fun way to practice too. Like, how many different ways can I write the letter E? And it kind of just allows you to explore and have a little bit of fun. So I created these lettering challenges back in, I've been doing these since probably about 2018, a very long time. It's lots of lettering challenges over the years, but I initially created it because, to me, when I first started learning how to hand letter, I would get all my pens out and get all my things, and I'd be like, oh, okay, I have some time to hand letter. And then it was like, I don't know what to write. And then I would get on Pinterest and I would like scroll and look around. And then by the time I would be like, find a phrase or find something that I wanted to hand letter, it was like, okay, now I don't have any more time. So I started creating these lettering challenges so that you could give you one word a day. So you could be like, okay, today is the 6th. I'm going to practice writing or lettering the word hugs. And so you could just sit down and practice that word. You could write it different ways. You could just practice writing it the same way over and over. And so that's what these originated as. But last year I started kind of doing these little word collages, and it got to be really fun, and a lot of people really started liking it. So I've just kind of kept on with it. So for those of you that are new around here, that's where this came about. We got yours truly. So I'm going to do that here. I have enough room to kind of be fun with that Y. Yours. I think I'm going to do truly down here instead of over here. Yeah, I'm going to have to add some words on here. So if y'all know of any words that you want me to add that are words of endearment, excuse me. Put them in the chat and I will letter them because I have lots of extra space, which is sort of cheating, but we won't tell anybody. Yours. Truly. Honey, sweetie, those are cute, and that's good for this one. Let's do I could even do hey honey. Okay, and then we have sweetie. Let's do that. Let's do actually that in light pink right here. SWEETIE. Thank you for that, Julie. Okay, sweetie, precious, like it. Yes, give it a try, Yolanda. It's just fun, it's just for fun. And don't tell yourself it has to look any sort of way. Like, it doesn't matter how it looks. Like, if you don't like it, crumple it up, throw it away. Like, it doesn't, we're not trying to get in the art gallery, we're just trying to have fun with it. Let's go. PR. IOUS, right? IOUS. I think sometimes the pressure that we put on ourselves with lettering, like trying to make it look perfect, almost messes us up more. So like if you can find a way to just sit down and play with lettering and not make it like I have to make this look really good for this certain project, it releases a lot of that anxiety around the, it looking perfect, and you're able to kind of create like some good emotions around it, like to just have fun with it, and and use it as a relaxing hobby. Because at the end of the day, why do we all love to craft and create? Because it's relaxing, it's enjoyable, and enjoyable. And if we stress out about it, then that makes it not fun. And we don't want it to be not fun. We want it to be, hey, Miss Marilyn, we want it to be fun and relaxing and something that is like calming to us. And if we put a lot of pressure on ourselves around it, then what's the point of even doing it? So I think just kind of having fun with it, relaxing, enjoying it will help you just kind of make friends with it. I don't know what else to say, but you know what I'm saying. Like you have a good time, and it's not feeling pressured or like it has to look a certain way. Okay, what are some other Valentine's Day words? Love, be mine. We did that. I guess I could do like call me, like the little conversation hearts. Did I do kisses? Oh, I did kiss. Should have done kisses. Which I'm not supposed to really add words, but it's okay. We did chocolate. We did candy. We did. I guess I could do sucker. I just have this gap here that I need to, these little gaps. Can anybody get sugar? There you go. That's perfect. I could even do it. Now I'm going to be singing that song. Sugar, do, 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 do. Oh, honey, honey. Let's see. I'm not a singer. Don't quit your day job, Jennifer. Where do I want to write sugar? I think maybe I'll just write it. That's so sweet that your dad called you this. Isn't it so, like, as we get older, and I don't know if your dad's still living, Yolanda. My dad is not, but we think about like those sweet little things that our dads used to say to us, or anybody in our life, grandparent, like just those sweet little words of endearment that were probably annoying when we were kids, but we really secretly love them. Let's see. What else do I got back here? I got all kinds of signs back here. Surely I have, I have hey sugar right there. Oh, let's do that. Let's do hey. Since I have this extra room. Hey, sugar princess. Aw, that's cute too. Let's see. I'm trying to think of like, I wonder if I could do like some, I can ask ChatGPT what some, like, I want not just like more nicknames, but more, what are some Valentine's Day words? ChatGPT knows all kinds of things. Let's see what we got here. Oh, romance. That's a good one. Or adore. Did we do adore? Oh, yeah, we did. Forever, true love, endless love, with love. I think we got almost every Valentine's Day word that you can think of here. Let's see. There's heartbreaker. That's cute. How about romance? Romance is a good one. And I think that might be it. I might just do like hearts for the rest of these spots here. Let's do, what color could I do here? Can't do that. Can't do red. So that's out. Red's out. That's a possibility. This is a possibility. That's out. I could do this. That's already here. This is a thing. I could do something here. Sorry that you'll have to sit here. Oh, I love you. Hello. That is actually really good. I might do that here in blue. Because then I can do not the word love, but do a heart. And then do this. I love you. And then let's do, what did I say, romance up here. And then I think we can fill in the rest with, I cheated and added some words. I do this every time though, because I have extra space. And I thought I was starting out really good this time, like trying to write really big, but I still ran out of space. I mean, I still had a lot of left over. Okay. Romance. We have Cupid here. So I think that is going to be it. I think I can put the hearts for the rest of the things. So I'm just going to go through here, and anywhere I have like spaces, I'm going to do some hearts. And then we can do like little polka dots and little X's or something. Let's do, so I just look for spaces where maybe I don't have a certain color. Just try to tie it all in, bring it all together, like maybe right here, some blue. And let's look around for pink. Where are spots that I can do some pink? Here. And there's pink there, but let's do a purple. Everywhere I want to write it. Like there's already purple there. Let's do this color. And I could do purple here too. And then we also could just fill it in with dots. So that's another little easy peasy way to take up some of this negative space that you have when you are doing a design. So anywhere, usually you see me put hearts, dots, little, you know, stars, things like that. It's usually because I have extra space and I'm just trying to kind of like fill in those gaps so that it doesn't look empty. So that's usually how I decide like where to put certain embellishments on my designs. Let's do this light purple here. And then I'm just going to do this color. Okay, and then you can just take it, like I said, and, you know, just kind of add dots to any empty, add dots to the empty spots. And I'll take this blue and add some, and then we will be done. So this is just a fun way to practice your hand lettering, again, with no pressure, no like need to make it be anything other than having fun, practicing. You have a list of words to practice, so no excuses on what you're going to write or anything like that. Just get a piece of paper out and have fun with it. And if you don't like it, throw it away. Like, it's not like we're not submitting it to an art show. Doesn't matter. This is just for you. Nobody has to see it. So don't feel like, you know, it's got to be perfect, because that is the #1 destroyer of creativity, is like when you force it, when it feels like it needs to be something perfect. This is your own, and it's not going to be just like mine, and mine is not just going to be like everybody else, you know, somebody else that I follow that I want to be like. It's your own, and we are not computers, and we are not perfect. So the only way to get better at hand lettering is to practice. You know, you are not going to get better at hand lettering if you don't put in the time to practice. You just won't. There's no magic class you can take, no magic pen that's going to make you better if you don't practice. Now, obviously, classes, pens, paper, you know, those are all important, and they are helpful. But if you don't put in the time to practice, you're not going to get better no matter what pens, papers, whatever you have. And that's just the way it is. So get out there and practice and have fun. And just create something and send me a picture if you would like, so I can see what you created. If you're in the Happy Lettering Club, post a picture of your February challenge inside the group page, because it's always, you never know who you're going to inspire. Okay, so thank you so much, you guys, for hanging out with me today. This was fun. I will be back to do March's lettering challenge on the first Friday in March, which I don't remember what day that is, but whatever day. Thank you, Ramona. You have a good weekend too, Julie, even though I'll talk to you again before the weekend probably, but thank you, Yolanda. You guys all have a wonderful weekend. I hope it's sunny and beautiful where you are, and if it is not, make it sunny and beautiful with your smile. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Have a good day. Bye.